Hello, this is Jason from geltechnology.com. What I'm going to do really quick here is give you a quick demo of a possible sports page scenario for the Wildcats site. What I did here is I looked at Rod Charles' Shutterfly site for the girls basketball team, and I kind of took a lot of the elements, the ideas, and the design elements, and moved them over into the .NET Nuke content management system, just so you can see the capabilities. So this is going to be a real quick demo. I'm not going to go too far into depth. The first thing you're going to do is log in, and what I did is I created a sports page editor group for each of the sports. So in this case, the girls basketball site would be possibly Rod Charles would be the editor. So let's go to my sports pages. I'm going to go to girls basketball. And as an editor of the site, what you'll see is a couple of new buttons here that show up that the normal viewer doesn't see, okay, unless they're an editor of the site. Okay, these are all HTML elements. I've done a left pane, a center pane, and a right pane content area. You'll see a couple other modules I've added. I've added a links module, lets you add a new link real quickly. All these sections are editable. Okay, this header section is editable. So if I wanted to add some more wording, or if I wanted to add a different picture, I could edit that. And I'll show you editing here in a second. The pages I've created events page for each for a sports scenario. And same thing here. I've got content areas on the page that are editable. I've also put an events module. So if you're an editor of this sport, you can add new events. I'm going to show you that real quick. I go to add event. And you would simply put in the event title if it's an all-day event. If it's not, you put in your start and finish time. Categories. Good way to organize the events is to create categories, and I'll show you that in a second. But you might want categories for practice sessions. You might want categories for tournaments or games. You might want one for banquets or get-togethers or whatever. Also add your location, so you have a common list of locations. And then you add your description. Okay? And I'm just going to cancel out of that real quick. And if I go back here and I look at the events module, you can see up here, if I hover here, I've also have the add event button here, but I also have edit categories, edit locations. Okay, so I can add new categories and locations right from there. Okay. And like I say, all these features, only the editor of that sport area, that sports page, would have rights to add those events. The cool thing, if you're a student, say, or if you're on the team, you could, or if you're a fan, you could subscribe to this event calendar. So when the calendar gets updated, that person would get those updates right away. Let's dive into the next page, the gallery. And what I've tried to do is have a common approach for people to put pictures onto the sports page. In each sport page, whether it be golf, football, basketball, girls basketball, they each have their own gallery. So all the pictures that you see all throughout the site as I was navigating around here, well, that's a bad example. Oops. Go back here. If I go back to the events page, you'll see all of these pictures that I have all throughout the page. They're actually being linked out of the gallery. So I think it's a good way to have a central spot instead of having some mysterious folder on the web server where you'd have these pictures being uploaded. We actually use the gallery for that upload. Okay. The gallery is real simple. What you're going to want to do is create folders or albums for your pictures just to organize them. And you see I've got a couple existing folders. This site folder is what I'm actually using for some of the pictures throughout the basketball site. I've created a players folder where I actually took the pictures of each of the players, and you'll see where I utilize those later. And game faces, that just I took the game faces page Rod had and just took all the pictures off of there and put them into the album. Okay. Let me just show you quickly some of the features here. So what I'm going to want to do is create a album first. So I'm going to go add album, and I'm going to go to test. I'm going to say test. It asks you what kind of an album it is. I'm just going to say it contains images for now, and you can go back and change that at any time. I'm not going to get too in depth into the features here. Okay, so now I created a new folder. So I'm going to go back to my gallery. And what I'm going to do, I can either click into there or I'm just going to hover over it and I'm going to say add files. The neat feature of this album is it will automatically convert if you've got super large photos. What I've done is I put a restriction on the album to only allow, or to actually allow a maximum of 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. So it prevents people from creating these huge files on the server. The other great feature is it allows us to upload a zip file. So what I've done is I have this folder with all these game faces. You can see there's a number of them, probably about 20 or so, probably more than that. And what I've done is I've put them all into a zip file. And what I can do is I can click that zip file to upload, and what the server will do is will extract all of those files from that single zip, and it'll actually title them, put an author on them. So I can just say test zip, and I'm going to say Jason, but in reality you're going to want to put a good title. So if, say, it was a game versus Lake Orion, you could put that title to be on all those pictures. Okay? So I'm going to say add file. Okay, and what the server's done is it's extracted all those files, and down at the bottom we're going to say upload pending. So it takes a lot of the work out of having to the tedious task of having to upload each one of those separately. It allows us to do that zip file, and that's a great time saver. So now if I get out of here, and what you'll see now is I've got my test album and I've got all my pictures in there. Okay. The neat feature about the albums is it allows us to also, allows users to put rankings. They can put 5 stars, 2 stars, and I believe very soon here in the next couple of weeks we're going to have the ability to comment on the photos also. So that's something that is forthcoming. So let me show you a couple of the other pages. Results page. Okay, same thing here. I've created content sections which are all editable. Alright. And I've got a roster page. And what I've done here is a little different. You see I've created 2 content sections. Actually 3, counting the top picture here.